astrologers before battle, and ordinary villagers whispered charms to protect their crops. This wasn't the world of fantasy novels, this was real life in the Middle Ages. But how exactly did people practice magic during that time? Let's uncover the mysterious, dangerous, and fascinating world of medieval magic. The Middle Ages, roughly from the 5th to the 15th century, was a time of faith, fear, and folklore. Christianity dominated Europe, and the church worked hard to draw a line between divine miracles and forbidden magic. But for everyday people, magic wasn't always seen as evil. Instead, it was woven into daily life, used to heal the sick, find love, protect livestock, and even predict the future. Magic came in many forms: charms, potions, rituals, astrology, and necromancy. Some of it looked like harmless folk traditions, while other practices were considered heretical or even demonic. At the village level, magic was practical. Protective charms were common. People carried small objects like herbs, carved stones, or written prayers to ward off evil spirits, or the evil eye. Spells for love were popular too. Women might bake bread with special herbs to attract a husband, while men might whisper incantations to gain affection. Healing magic blended herbal medicine with ritual. Magic wasn't just for villagers, it was also practiced by educated men, often in monasteries and universities. This was called learned magic. Astrology was extremely influential. Kings and nobles often relied on astrologers to choose dates for battles, weddings, or coronations. Alchemy was another respected form of magic, though it was also tied to early science. Alchemists sought to transform base metals into gold and discover the philosopher's stone, believed to grant immortality. Necromancy, however, was the most feared. This involved summoning spirits of the dead to gain knowledge, predict the future, or control events. Medieval necromancers studied ancient texts, drew elaborate circles of protection, and chanted invocations in Latin. While astrology and alchemy sometimes brushed against science, necromancy was seen as deeply suspicious, too close to demonic power. Those caught practicing it could face severe punishment. The church had a complicated relationship with magic. On one hand, it condemned sorcery as dangerous and heretical. On the other, the church itself performed rituals that, at least to outsiders, looked like magic. Holy water, relics, and blessings were seen as divine protections, but they functioned much like charms in the eyes of ordinary people. Exorcisms involved prayers and rituals to cast out demons, which blurred the line between miracle and spell. Some priests themselves secretly practiced astrology or read magical texts, believing it was knowledge, not sin. But the official stance was clear. Magic that did not come from God was considered the work of the devil. By the late Middle Ages, fear of witches became widespread. While earlier magic was tolerated in many forms, the idea of a witch's pact with the devil began to dominate. Witches were believed to fly at night, attend Sabbaths, and cast curses on their neighbors. They were accused of causing storms, spreading disease, or destroying crops. Many women, especially healers, midwives, or widows, were vulnerable to accusations. Inquisitors wrote grim manuals like the infamous Malleus Maleficarum, Hammer of Witches, which spread fear of organized witchcraft. Trials and executions rose sharply in the 15th and 16th centuries, leading to thousands of deaths across Europe. Despite the danger, magic persisted because it offered hope. In a world where medicine was primitive, weather was unpredictable, and life was fragile, magic promised control. For the poor, charms and potions offered comfort. For the rich, astrology and alchemy offered guidance and power. For scholars, forbidden texts promised secret wisdom. By the end of the Middle Ages, magic had left a permanent mark on European culture. Many medieval practices evolved into modern traditions. Astrology is still practiced today. Herbal remedies influenced modern medicine. The mystical symbols of alchemy helped shape chemistry. Magic in the Middle Ages was never one single thing. It was a mixture of faith, fear, science, superstition, and survival. For villagers, it was the hope of a good harvest. For nobles, it was the guidance of the stars. For scholars, it was the pursuit of forbidden knowledge. Whether whispered in a village hut, studied in a scholar's chamber, or condemned from the pulpit, magic shaped medieval life. So next time you hear tales of witches, alchemists, or charms, remember, these weren't just stories. They were the real practices of people living in a world where magic and reality were never far apart.